Are you garbage?
The Are You Garbage situation. I honestly, up until probably 12 hours ago, I would have said complete garbage. But I did a little research, did a little homework. I'm going to say the kid's all class. Kippy, what are you thinking?
I don't know, man. I know you're from like Harrisburg or something, right? I'm leaning garbage.
That's tough.
You're from like Central PA a little bit.
I'm from Mechanicsburg. So, yeah, but I grew up in like a nice house and a nice neighborhood.
How far away were you from Harrisburg?
It's like 20 minutes west or east.
So it's about the same comparison to where we are to Philly. So,
yeah.
But definitely rural, right? Blue collar.
Yeah. Well, it's weird how much this area has changed in the last like 10 years. I mean, it was definitely very rural and very blue collar, but now it's totally suburban.
It's totally suburban.
And we were one of the first suburban neighborhoods out here, so I've always been.
It's always a good look when you have like
kids'
a blue
new
collar.
money. I like it.
I am.
The first new development, the first cul-de-sac in the
fucking
town.
Gentrified.
Bought low, and the real estate started going up. Your pop's like, "Yeah, we're not doing too bad. Pretty sweet."
Well, he grew up on like a creek.
Creek kids are bad news kids, dude.
And
Creek
he had like fucking
bad.
8 siblings, and they all fist fought, and their dad died. They were garbage.
They're garbage. That's like real garbage.
But the thing is that kind of never really like my kids. Hopefully, will have zero garbage. I'm half.
Sure. So this is what we're finding out about. It's like it's generational. You know what I mean? Like if your dad was garbage, you're garbage. Your kids might even be unless you have like an all-star career, they're going to be somewhat fucking garbage.
I have this thing where I'm starting to I do a lot of the stuff that my dad does, and like I'm starting to like just like the mannerisms or like
everything.
So that inherent garbage doesn't really go away too easily. And I gotta say, I saw an Instagram story of you. Your dad's a fucking brick shithouse. He'd still kick your ass, right?
That's been the debate lately. In fact, earlier today.
Dude, that is such. I do it with my dad. I used to do it with my dad. It's such a trash thing. If you're like, I could take you, and he's like, I got one more left in me, kid.
That's 100% what he says.
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna ask you as a question, and it was gonna be a trick question, like whether you thought you could beat your dad up. And the trick question is, if you even think about that, you're fucking trash. Because intelligent, classy people don't think about fist fighting their old man.
Well,
we've
I'll
all
tell you
thought about it.
I literally, before this podcast started, he and I had that debate in the kitchen today, and because I squared up to him and like jabbed him a little, and
joking around.
Yeah, of course. And then he was like, "I'll fuck you up," and I was like, "I would beat the fuck out of you," and this was in front of my mother, so.
Dude,
I mean, maybe it's not all class over here.
It's not.
She backs your dad up. She backs your old man up. Like, yeah, he'll kick your fucking ass, Jay.
Oh, he's done that. So one time I came out of the bathroom and my dad fucking towel whipped me in the face. Like he was doing laundry, which is right outside of the
What are you in a frat
bathroom.
house? What's going on?
It was insane. He towel whipped me in the face, and then I fucking grabbed the towel, and he hid behind my mother.
Ooh.
And I was like, if Joan, you better move or I'm going to fucking towel whip you. And she stayed still. So I towel whipped her. And normally I'm bad at towel whipping, but it was a perfect crack. And she started crying. Jesus. And my dad went from like, oh, this is playful to just in my fucking face. Like he
hit his girl.
He got in my face and was just like, I'll fuck you up, you pussy. I remember he called me a pussy. He called me a pussy.
Dude, my dad's called me a pussy so many times.
It was crazy.
Yeah. There's in trashy families, there's a 10-year period where the son and the dad are just at like a constant fucking standoff of who wants to fucking test it. You know what I mean? Because once they get into their 60s, they start losing a little bit more, but from 50 to 60, it's just two fucking lions eyeing each other up.
And I got when I was playing football, so I got very big, and I just would bully this fucking guy. Like he was probably like 50 years old, and I was
fucking
playing
flexing on him and shit like
college football. Yeah. So I would like wrestle him and beat his ass. But if we fist fought back then, he would have fucked me up.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. There's some kind of psychology or even at I played football too, and at like my prime physical shape, I was still like, not scared, but like I knew there's something about a man's like a grown man's hand punching you in the face that just does so much damage, and just even though they're out of shape, they have that look in their eye like, yeah,
well, they'll do it.
Get you.
And they're different. That's the generational thing where my dad grew up fighting constantly. I've been in like 10 fights. This guy used to fight constantly. Yeah. So he's. I mean,
they're from a time period where like neighborhoods used to fight. You know what I mean? They're like, let's go to 3rd Street and just fuck those guys up. You're like, what? It's just fighting dudes from a section of the place.
Irish and Italians going at it with each other at the playground.
Yeah, man. Out here, it was anti-Catholics. We still had the
really.
We had the good. Yeah, we in Mechanicsburg we still had good racism, where it was just
it's like Northern Ireland shit.
Yeah,
yeah, it was. It was the Protestants. And my dad has a story about he was playing basketball one day, and he went to the same high school as me. We went to a Catholic high school, and there's a school called Redland here, which is like, I don't know. They literally, even when I was in high school, their student section would wear orange when they played us to like be the Protestants. And they fucking, during my game my dad was in, they threw like fish onto the court. And they were calling them fish eaters and shit.
Holy shit.
You don't bow down to the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like 1800 shit.
Yeah, that's gangs of New York shit.
I'll stop hijacking your fucking podcast, but a good story from that was
that's
dad,
what, dude. That's what
that's what we want, baby. We want
in this game. In this game, my dad gripped up the dude he was guarding and was like, if I see you outside of this, I'm going to fuck you up. And like 4 years later in college, he saw the guy at a bar, and I don't think the guy recognized him. And my dad was like, let's go outside. He just jumped this dude. He just beat the shit out of a guy for no reason.
Why are you doing this, mister?
You fast forward like 30 years, the guy's eating dinner with his family at some casual dining facility. You guys are in there eating. Your dad's like, I'll be right back. Get the check.
Yeah. It's like the last scene in Sleepers when they kill fucking Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it was for no reason.
What does your pop do? What does he do for a living?
He's a salesman. So he does. I was actually making fun of him yesterday. He also like all dads, he thinks he was a fucking troop for some reason. In his old age, he like salutes the flag and shit. And no, he's just a salesman.
Dude,
not selling him short, but yeah.
I'm down in Wildwood, and every Friday and Saturday and Sunday morning on the boardwalk, it shuts down at 10 a.m. and they play the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem, dude. And it's pure America, dude. I love every second of it.
It feels good, doesn't it?
I'm sitting there like, Trump 2020, baby. This is a good fucking
it'll
feeling,
get you going, dude. It'll get you going.
It hypes me up, dude.
Nationalism, you get some white dudes going on nationalism. It's hard to pump those brakes.
It is, yeah.
It really is.
Once that blood gets pumping, dude, it's fucking game over.
White guys love nationalism.
We did taps on Memorial Day at 3:00. Made everybody stop at the party. The kids let taps play.
Somebody in my neighborhood, I guess, has a trumpet, and they played taps on Memorial Day. And my dad stood up and put his hand on his heart. He literally stood there like that, and we were like, that was what started the troop fight. I was like, you're a fucking salesman. Stop.
Your dad's paying for a flyby over the house.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
What about your mom? What does she do for a living?